I want to give you a real world masterclass on how you make exceptional money through property. I'm going to take you through step by step how 8 of my Cash Flow Accelerator clients purchased 8 properties and are set to generate over $4 million in profit. I'm at Yarrabilba, and this is a site of a new land development. I first started researching and finding this site in 2022. I did a lot of research and I quickly realized this development had huge upside and was massive. It fitted all of my criteria: strong growth, good location, family area, infrastructure to support the growth, and most importantly, we could buy here and manage our cash positively. Now, I didn't just buy any block in this development. Out of every land release, I selected the best blocks. I carefully selected the best blocks that were going to maximize our profits so that we could manage our cash flow positively. So I carefully selected 8 blocks which had massive upside. These blocks range between $218,000 and $319,000. There was only one block over $300,000. But here is the critical part to be able to manage your cash flow. We didn't have to get a loan for the whole amount. Through our negotiations, we've been able to negotiate to only pay the developer 3% of that particular land value. That's right. We secured these blocks for 3%, which is around $7,000 per block. No bank loan where we would have had to start paying repayments and interest, and that would have drained our cash flow. Simply pay $7,000 and the block was ours. The next step was simply sit and wait. We waited for the blocks to be titled and ready for construction. We were also very happy to wait because we knew that land values were going to rise in this particular area. The fundamentals were extremely strong, and rise they have. The block behind me we purchased for $218,000. Similar blocks in the same estate, in the same area, walking distance to this particular block, are now selling for in excess of $430,000. That means that our Cash Flow Accelerator client Nick has already made over $210,000 already. Best of all, we think values are going to go up even higher. And while we waited, we finalized all our plans for the build. Now, we aren't just building any random house on these blocks. You have to carefully research the market so that you build exactly what the market wants. Our research told us that these homes are suited to families. We are building 3 and 4 bedroom houses with 2 bathrooms, high ceilings, butler's pantries, wide doors, al fresco areas. These touches are important because we want to create wow factor. We want our houses to stand apart from anything else that's on the market. This will put us in a unique situation when we sell. To build the perfect house, we're spending around $410,000 on construction. So this property behind me of Nick's, he's paid $218,000 for the land. He's going to spend $410,000 on this specific build. This means we've invested around $630,000. Now here is the important part. Recently in the area, this house behind just sold for $1,061,000. Now, it is a little bit bigger than ours. It also has a double garage where ours has a single, and it is on a little bit more land than what we have. But if we can conservatively estimate that our properties should be worth around about $920,000, we stand to make $290,000, and that's today. Now, here's the interesting part. Property values in this area are rising around about 8% per year. Now, it's going to take us around another 6 to 12 months to complete the house. So, by our estimation, we think that the property behind me is just going to be worth just shy of $1 million in 12 months. This means that we would have generated over $370,000 in profit. Now, many of you would think, let's just sell now and take the profit. That's not what we're going to do here. We're going to keep the property because rental values here are very high, and we're going to hold that property long term. By holding onto these properties, we're going to benefit from this strong property market. Even though we're going to hold these properties, we are still going to be able to use this equity to be able to grow our property portfolio even further. And the way we do that is we get it revalued once it's finished construction. When they are revalued, we then take that profit out and put it into our next project. Now, let me give you an example of another one of my Cash Flow Accelerator clients who purchased in this area. Now, Catherine is another one of my clients. Catherine's a single mum, and she had a mortgage on her personal home of $300,000. She desperately wanted to pay off that mortgage and escape the mortgage trap. With my help, she's been able to purchase a block of land in this estate for $253,000, even though her family members were telling her not to do it. Best of all, she only had to put down $8,000 to secure the lot. The lot is going to be titled in around April, May. The plan is to build a home very similar to this: 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, butler's pantry, high ceilings, larger doors. However, with the strong property market, Catherine may decide to cash in. We think her property now, her block of land, is now worth around $450,000. And that's conservatively, with a lot of future growth to come. If she can sell in April, May, June for around $470,000, that means she would have made $200,000 in profit. This is going to be a big dent in her mortgage, or she can use that cash to then do another project. Another example is Kyle. Kyle's 27 years old and he's in the army. Kyle's already done 2 properties with me, but he saw the potential in Yarrabilba and he signed up straight away. He purchased his land for $319,000. His land is going to be titled at the end of this year or early next year. At that stage, we believe that his block will be worth around about $550,000. And that's just land alone. Although he could make around $200,000 by selling, he's going to go ahead and he's going to put a 4-bed, 2-bath home with the high ceilings, with the large doorways and the butler's pantries, all the added extras that we think will stand alone. And he will spend around about the same price, around about $410,000 on the build. We think the way the market's going, at the end of 2027 or 2028, that house and land package will be worth over $1.1 million. That means he's going to stand to profit around about $350,000. Now, because the local property market is booming, Kyle wants to build and keep the property long term and rent it out. And you guessed it, he's going to revalue, he's going to take his profit, and then he's going to reinvest that profit again into another project. These successful projects are not accidents. We look at thousands of properties every year and we reject the large proportion of them because they don't come up to our criteria of high growth and the ability to be able to manage our cash flow throughout the entire development. We also carefully select the kind of property that we put on this particular land because we want to make sure that our market is strong if we want to sell or we want to rent it out. Now, we've finished at Yarrabilba, but we have another area where we're seriously considering entering that particular market to repeat exactly the same formula as what we have here. We've been negotiating this particular area for over 2.5 years. So these opportunities are extremely rare and they're going to be offered to our members in our Chairman's Lounge going forward in the next few years. Happy investing.
Welcome to the My Property Empire Chairman's Lounge.